The sky was burning. Cities crumbled like sandcastles under a giant's foot. Smoke rose from shattered buildings, painting the air black. The streets, once filled with life, now echoed with distant screams and the mechanical hum of alien war machines. No one had seen them coming. One moment, the world was normal. The next, chaos ruled. The invaders arrived in massive ships, dark and silent. They hovered above the cities, casting shadows so large they swallowed the sun. And then, the first strike. Skyscrapers melted under their energy weapons. Cars exploded like firecrackers. Millions died before they could even understand what was happening. The world's greatest armies responded quickly, sending fighter jets and tanks. But their weapons were useless. Bullets bounced off the alien armor. Missiles exploded harmlessly in the air. It was a massacre. The invaders did not speak. They did not ask for surrender. They simply took. In the heart of New York City, a young soldier named Ryan Carter crouched behind the ruins of a collapsed building. His hands trembled as he gripped his rifle. It was useless, and he knew it. But what else could he do? He watched as a towering alien mech stomped through the street, scanning for survivors. Its red eyes glowed like fire. A mother and her child ran across the road, trying to escape. Ryan's heart pounded. No! Stay hidden! But they were too slow. The mech turned. A blinding blue beam shot from its weapon. 1 second, they were there. The next, only ashes remained. Ryan clenched his jaw. He wanted to scream, to fight. But what could one man do against an army that saw humans as nothing more than insects? Across the world, the same scene played out. In Tokyo, the skyline burned. In Paris, the Eiffel Tower collapsed. London, Moscow, Sydney, all fell within hours. Humanity, the dominant species for thousands of years, was brought to its knees in a single day. The news channels went silent. The internet crashed. Governments fell. The world was no longer theirs. Deep underground, in a hidden military base, a group of survivors gathered around a single flickering screen. Scientists, soldiers, and leaders, what was left of them. They watched the footage in silence. Finally, an old general spoke. His voice was rough, filled with rage. "They think we're finished." He looked around the room, eyes burning with defiance. "They think we'll just roll over and die." He slammed his fist on the table. "They have no idea what's coming." In the darkness, humanity's last hope was being born. The world was silent, not the peaceful kind of silence, but the eerie, suffocating stillness after devastation. Smoke still rose from the ruins of once great cities. Streets were littered with abandoned cars, shattered glass, and the remains of those who didn't make it. The invaders moved without fear. Their towering machines patrolled the streets, scanning for survivors. Their soldiers, faceless and cold, walked among the ruins, eliminating anything that moved. To them, humanity was already defeated. They were wrong. Beneath the ruins of an old military base, a group of humans gathered in the darkness. Soldiers, scientists, and civilians, anyone who had survived. They weren't the strongest or the best trained, but they had something the invaders didn't understand. Rage. Ryan Carter stood among them, gripping his rifle. He had seen his city burn. He had seen innocent people turn to dust. And now, standing before a table covered in stolen alien tech, he felt something new. Not fear, not hopelessness, determination. General Hawkins, a man with deep scars on his face and a fire in his eyes, pointed at a holographic map. "They think we're finished," he said. "They think we'll stay in the shadows, waiting to die." He looked around the room. "But we are not prey." His voice hardened. "We are predators." The plan was simple. Strike fast, strike hard. Show the invaders that humanity wasn't broken yet. That night, under the cover of darkness, the first attack began. Ryan and his team moved through the ruins, sticking to the shadows. They had no advanced weapons, no armored suits. Just stolen enemy explosives and a burning desire for revenge. Their target, a power station that controlled the alien defense grid. As they reached the facility, Ryan took a deep breath. If this worked, they would prove that humans could fight back. If it failed, there would be no second chance. He signaled his team. One by one, they planted explosives along the station's main power lines. The alien guards patrolled lazily, believing no one would dare attack. That was their last mistake. With a single press of a detonator, the night exploded into fire. The power station erupted, sending shockwaves through the enemy's network. Lights flickered. Alien machines shut down. Confusion spread like wildfire. And in that chaos, humanity struck. Across the city, hidden resistance fighters launched attacks. Snipers took out alien patrols. Homemade explosives turned enemy vehicles into fireballs. What was supposed to be a silent world of defeated humans became a battlefield. The invaders had underestimated them, and now they were paying the price. As Ryan watched the flames rise into the sky, he whispered to himself, "This is just the beginning." Far above in the command ship orbiting Earth, the alien warlord watched the destruction below. For the first time, a new emotion crept into his cold, calculating mind. Doubt. Smoke curled into the sky, painting the night in shades of destruction. The world had been silent for weeks, humans hiding, aliens ruling. But tonight, the silence was broken. Explosions echoed through the city ruins, gunfire rattled in the distance. Humanity was no longer running. They were fighting back. Ryan Carter crouched behind a collapsed building, his rifle clutched tight in his hands. His heart pounded, but not with fear. Adrenaline surged through his veins. The first attack had worked. The alien power station was gone, their defenses weakened. And now, resistance cells across the world were waking up. But the fight was far from over. Through the cracked window of a ruined shop, he saw them. 3 towering alien soldiers, their armor gleaming under the flickering streetlights. Their red eyes scanned the darkness, searching for the ones responsible for the chaos. Ryan pressed his earpiece. "Team, in position?" A soft voice crackled back. "Ready when you are." Ryan nodded to himself. The plan was risky, but they didn't have the luxury of time. He raised his rifle, aimed at the first alien's head, and fired. The shot rang out like thunder. The alien staggered back, its armor cracking but not breaking. Its head snapped toward Ryan's position, glowing eyes locking onto him. Then, the others moved. Ryan didn't wait. "Now!" From the rooftops above, resistance fighters opened fire. Grenades tumbled through the air, landing between the aliens with a deafening boom. The street lit up with fire and smoke. Ryan sprinted forward, weaving between the wreckage as bullets and energy blasts tore through the night. One of the aliens roared, stepping out of the fire, its armor scorched but intact. It raised its weapon. A missile streaked from the shadows, slamming into its chest. The explosion sent the creature flying, crashing into the rubble. Silence followed. Ryan turned, breath heavy. His team emerged from their hiding spots, their faces covered in soot and sweat. But they were smiling. For the first time since the invasion, they had won a battle. Not the war, but a battle. Back at the resistance base, the news spread fast. Across the world, humans were striking back, sabotaging alien outposts, destroying supply chains, spreading fear among the invaders. In the depths of the command ship orbiting Earth, the alien warlord watched the reports with narrowed eyes. His species had crushed countless civilizations before. None had ever fought back like this. A commander approached, his voice uneasy. "They are not breaking." The warlord's claws tightened. "Then we make them." He turned to the holographic display. A new order flashed across the screen. "Burn them all." The war was about to get worse. The sky burned red as alien warships descended lower, their massive shadows swallowing entire cities. The invaders had underestimated humanity once, but not again. This time, they came with full force. No more slow extermination, no more small patrols. They wanted to end this war in one final brutal sweep. But humanity had changed too. Ryan Carter stood on a rooftop, his rifle slung across his back. Below him, the streets of what was once New York were now a battleground. Fires raged, the air filled with the deafening sounds of war, gunfire, explosions, and the mechanical roars of alien machines. The enemy had come to crush the resistance. Instead, they had walked into a trap. Ryan pressed his earpiece. "Are we ready?" a voice crackled back. "Waiting on your signal." Ryan took a deep breath. The aliens had one weakness: their communication network. Every soldier, every war machine, every drone was connected to a single command hub. Take that out, and their forces would collapse into chaos. The problem? That hub was heavily guarded, deep in the heart of enemy territory. "Move in," Ryan ordered. Across the city, hidden resistance fighters emerged. Homemade rocket launchers fired, taking out armored patrols. EMP blasts fried alien sensors. Snipers on rooftops picked off commanders. The invaders faltered. They had expected easy prey. Instead, they faced an army that had adapted, learned, and, most importantly, refused to surrender. Ryan's team pushed forward through the crumbling streets. Alien mechs stomped ahead, their weapons glowing, but the resistance was faster. Grenades rolled under their feet, detonating in a storm of fire and steel. They reached the command hub, a towering structure of pulsing alien technology. This was it, the heart of the enemy's power. Ryan set the charges, his hand steady despite the chaos. The countdown began, 60 seconds. Then he heard it, a deep, guttural growl. He turned. The alien warlord stood at the entrance, his armor black as night, his glowing red eyes locked onto Ryan. Unlike the other invaders, this one wasn't just a soldier. He was something more. Ryan raised his rifle. The warlord didn't flinch. "Foolish human," it spoke for the first time. Its voice was like grinding metal. "You cannot win," Ryan smirked. "Watch me." He dived aside as the warlord lunged, its claws slashing through the air. Bullets sparked against its armor but did nothing. Ryan rolled, grabbed a fallen alien energy weapon and fired. The blast hit the warlord square in the chest, sending it stumbling back. 10 seconds left. Ryan scrambled to his feet and ran. The warlord roared behind him, but it was too late. 3, 2, 1. The explosion tore through the air, ripping the command hub apart in a blinding storm of fire and electricity. Across the city, alien forces hesitated. Their connection was severed, orders were lost. The once organized army fell into chaos. Ryan stood among the wreckage, breathing hard. He looked up at the sky, where the massive alien warships loomed. This wasn't the end. But for the first time, humanity had the upper hand. The sky was a battlefield. Explosions lit up the clouds as alien warships fired down upon the Earth, but their attacks were no longer precise. Their once perfect coordination was shattered. The destruction of the command hub had crippled their forces, turning their army into a chaotic mess. And humanity was striking back harder than ever. Ryan Carter stood on the remains of a collapsed freeway, his rifle in one hand, a stolen alien energy weapon in the other. Smoke and fire surrounded him. The city was in ruins, but it was theirs again. Resistance fighters moved like ghosts through the rubble, taking down disoriented alien troops. But the fight wasn't over yet. Above, the alien mothership, massive, ominous, hovered like a god of destruction. If it remained, the war wasn't truly won. Ryan's earpiece crackled. "Carter, we have a plan." It was General Hawkins, his voice calm despite the chaos. "We're taking that thing down," Ryan smirked. "How?" There's a weakness in their core reactor. A direct hit could overload it. Ryan's heart pounded. And who's delivering the hit? You. Ryan looked up at the towering ship. It was suicide. But after everything, he wasn't about to back down now. Minutes later, he was strapped into an old human fighter jet, modified with stolen alien tech. The Resistance had been secretly rebuilding these for weeks. Now they had their chance to use them. As he launched into the sky, alien drones swarmed toward him. He weaved through the chaos, dodging energy blasts, his fingers tight on the controls. His wingmen followed, diving through enemy fire. The mothership loomed closer. "Almost in range," a pilot said. "Just a little more." An explosion. A missile hit Ryan's wingman, sending their jet spiraling into flames. The ship's defenses were waking up. Ryan gritted his teeth. "Keep going." The mothership's reactor core was visible now, a glowing, pulsing heart of energy. The target. The key to ending this war. Ryan locked onto it. Then the comms crackled. A deep, familiar voice. "You think you can kill us?" Ryan's blood ran cold. The alien warlord. A massive enemy fighter appeared beside him, sleek and deadly. The warlord's craft. Ryan had seconds to decide. Fire the missile at the core or fight the warlord. A choice between victory and revenge. He exhaled. Mission first. Ryan swerved, dodging the warlord's attacks. His finger hovered over the trigger. The reactor core was dead ahead. The warlord's voice growled in his ears. "This is your last mistake, human." Ryan grinned. "Number, this is yours." He fired. The missile shot forward, slicing through the chaos. A heartbeat later, impact. The reactor exploded. A shockwave ripped through the mothership. Fire and lightning engulfed the sky. The warlord's ship veered off, caught in the blast. Ryan's jet spun wildly as the explosion roared behind him. He pulled up, barely escaping as the mothership began to crumble. The sky burned. The ground trembled. The warship, the invaders' last hope, was falling. Ryan landed rough, his jet skidding onto the ruins below. He climbed out breathless, watching as the mothership crashed in the distance, sending a shockwave across the land. Silence followed. Then a sound, a single voice, then another, cheering. Across the battlefield, survivors rose from the rubble. They had won. Humanity had won. Ryan fell to his knees, exhausted. He looked at the sky, finally clear. No enemy ships, no burning cities, just stars. They had survived, and they would rebuild.